All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's podcast. Yeah, this is a serious topic. It's a serious topic, and I'm going to deal with it in a minute. We have launched our website. Our website has come up. Well, it's been up for a while. Okay, I'm just introducing it to you. Okay, you can go to our website and get Project Salt songs. Okay, get updates on all our activities. The Project Salt. I'm with the Project Salt. I'm the convener of the Project Salt. Everything I do, all right, is Salt. Okay, and so the Salt and Light Tribe. Okay, so you can get our branded merchandise, hoodies, t-shirts, face caps. You can get them over there. Okay, www.projectsalt.com/shop. All right, or you can just make a donation if you want to donate to the work we do. Okay, to the cause, to the things we've been doing for the gospel, for the kingdom. You can just make a donation. www.projectsalt.com theprojectsalt.com/give. All right, or you can even go to the partnership page, okay, and become a partner. All right, so you can be making regular donations, every month, every week, okay, whichever is convenient for you. All right, so you can go to our YouTube platform. All right, check out our unscripted sessions. Those are beautiful videos that will help you if you're a worshiper, which everybody should be. All right, everybody should be a person who worships God. All right, both in singing, melody, and and also in our lifestyle. All right, so go check us out on YouTube. Follow us on social media. All right, Daniel McDonald, the Project Salt. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're not on Twitter. Deliberately, yeah, we were on Twitter. We left Twitter deliberately. So you can get us on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, so quickly, let's jump into this issue of Will Smith and Chris Rock. Yeah, you saw the video. The video has been on. In fact, it has so circulated that everywhere I turn, it's there. Chris Rock, Will Smith, Chris Rock, Oscars, and it annoys me. It upsets me so much. I had to do this. I had to do this podcast because I felt like if I hold on to it, I will just lash out in a very wrong way. All right, so I had to do this podcast. First thing first, Oscars. Do you realize that how many people actually knew the Oscars was holding last weekend? How many regular folks? I don't mean people in the showbiz, all right? I don't mean people in show business. I don't mean people who are into the entertainment blogs and all that. I'm a creative. I'm an entertainer. All right. I'm a musician, even though my music is to the audience of one. Okay. However, I am still functioning in that capacity. Okay. And I didn't know about this. I didn't even know Oscars was supposed to hold. Just a day ago. All right. So how is it that Oscars has become this? That Oscars will come and go, and nobody will have an idea. The only reason people knew that the Oscars happened, was because a grown man was smacked by another grown man. These are not boys. Chris Rock is a legend. Will Smith is a legend. Both of them in their individual genres of entertainment. Will Smith is an actor. Yes, he has dabbled into comedy. He has done one or two things. I think recently he even tried stand-up one time. He was just playing around with it. But he has done sitcom. Okay, but he's majorly an actor. Okay, so he does tragedy, he does action, he does whatever it is. Okay, Chris Rock is a legend as a stand-up comedian. If you talk about the best of the best in the United States, in the world, the guy has gone on tours around the world. He has proven his craft in the US, in the UK, in Africa. All right, so he's not a boy in this game. But somehow Chris Rock was supposed to present an award. All right, and then as a comedian that he is. And one of the reasons why they brought these people in fact, I think I need to give you the lay down, the flow of the story. Okay, Chris Rock was asked to present an award. That's a normal thing. The Oscars is an award ceremony for actors. Okay, it's an academy. They call it the academy because producers and basically movie makers and all that filmmakers come together and vote on different awards and stuff. All right, so on that night, which was Sunday, which was I think 27th, he came out, and as the comedian that he is, he made fun of some people or made fun of someone. I don't know whether it was some people. I didn't even watch the full Oscar ceremony. All right, and he made fun of Will Smith's wife. All right, Will Smith initially, with evidence from camera, was laughing at this joke, and all of a sudden we just saw him walk up stage and straight up slapped Chris Rock, as in no alert, no nothing. It's just from laughing, not just smiling, from laughing, happily at the joke. He just stood up. I don't know these mood swings. This actor, This is why I believe I'm a good director. I've been told I'm a good stage director. I've not gone into screenplay yet. I've been told I'm a good stage director. I've been told I work well on set, okay. But acting, I don't know how actors do it. I feel acting gives you a lot of things, a lot of baggage. I don't know how to do it. Sometimes I just think they're awesome. They're just awesome people. Or there are people who have a way of channeling their issues. So I don't know. I don't get it. So he was laughing, and all of a sudden he just got up, walked up stage. This is the Oscars. This is the Oscars. The Oscars is to acting as Grammy is to music. I'm assuming this, all right? And he walked up there and smacked this guy upstage and walked back to his seat, and then yelled explicatives right back at Chris Rock. Chris Rock was like, what just happened? And the guy was like, keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth and stuff like that, which is not really Will Smith's thing. I don't think he's really. Yeah, he might do it for a movie or something, but I don't think that is his thing. That using, Chris Rock definitely uses curse words. It's like his daily bread. You understand? But Will Smith, I don't know him for that. All right, I generally know him for family entertainment, wholesome entertainment, clean entertainment. All right. So that's basically the story. That was the high point of that. That was the high point. I think the rest was mostly virtue signaling and people being pretentious and all that. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to even spoil. my mood is already very, very. I don't know. All right. So let me get into. Okay, before I get into what my opinion is on the matter. Okay. Well, maybe you can say I have two opinions on the matter. The first one is I'm disappointed in Will Smith. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Will Smith. I'm very, 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 very disappointed. When I saw it, I thought it was. I was hoping it was a skit. I was hoping it was it was some kind of bit they were doing. In fact, people in the audience were hoping. If you look at this lady's face, and what's her name? This lady that did oh my goodness, Black Panther. She was in Black Panther. She was also in this black horror movie. I forgot the name, but she's a popular black. She's a very dark-skinned, African, okay, who went over there and is doing nice things. And if you see her face, you could see the shock, as the crowd just moved from laughing to shock. And the shock was like, okay, wow, this beat is quite as in they tried, but they started realizing that, okay, this is not a skit. This guy actually walked up stage and violently assaulted someone upstage. I was very disappointed in Will Smith. First reason, as a person, Will Smith has shown his ability to take things. Not just take things, to give. You understand? Will Smith is a funny person. He gives, he takes. So he's a playful person. All right. So I was disappointed on that level. On the level of an entertainer, that was even for me. I think that's okay. Let me not say it's the worst. Yeah, for me, it's the worst. For me, it's the worst. The next one will be for him claiming to be a Christian, because I don't want to say he is a Christian. It's not up to me to make that kind of statement. He's the one who can say he's a Christian, he's born again, he's a follower of Christ and all that. But he keeps mentioning God and faith, and keeps giving the impression that he is a born again Christian. All right, so if he is, based on that assumption that he is, I'm also disappointed. But I'm more disappointed that he's an Eternal. This is why I can't vouch for his salvation. So I can only say, okay, maybe he's a Christian, and if he's a Christian, then yeah, he didn't do well. But as an entertainer, he's definitely. I mean, he's a world-known, celebrated, legendary entertainer. Okay, from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air down to Men in Black, to Bad Boys, to Legend, to Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, this guy, to Suicide Squad. This guy has been back to back. As in, he's on point. I can't remember a bad movie he did. Like a bad movie. I don't know. Even the one where he was this superhero, super villain guy. And he's good. He's an entertainer. And as an entertainer, you should know, comedians did not start today. Comedians have been doing this thing for years. They mock everybody. It is, first of all, it is the world they live in the United States. The United States has the First Amendment that allows them freedom of speech. So if someone comes up and makes fun, in fact, that was the reason why they put him there. I won't be shocked if that joke was suggested to him by the organizers. They do it a lot. They bring in controversial comedians to award shows. Do this. They want to shake. What they do is they bring comedians, and the comedians want to move them from their pretentious. They come in and they're looking all put together, all classy, and they're taking pictures, and they're looking all dolled up and luxurious. And the comedians are real people. Comedians are one of the most real. They are the realest of the real people. All right, that's why they like their genre of entertainment. So when the comedians are upstage, okay, when they're upstage in these events, they are one of their major goal is to neutralize all that tension, all that pretentious, normalize everything. So they pick on them. They just start making fun of them one by one because they are close friends with these people. They're all in the entertainment industry. So they keep teasing each other, yabbing each other, and all that. It's a normal thing. It is you'll be shocked how normal this thing is. You'll be shocked because what did they claim was the problem? They claimed that Chris Rock. That the reason why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, very loud, very strong slap, was what? I mean, this guy, Will Smith is a muscular guy. This guy walks out to act as a superhero, so he's jacked, and he slapped the comedian who doesn't walk out to be a superhero. You understand? The slap. He said they claimed the reason for the slap was because Chris Rock made fun of Will Smith's wife. That's what's her name again? Jada Pinkett Smith. All right, she's also an actor, okay, but she has said it before that she's going through a condition called alopecia. I think that's the word, where you lose your hair. It's hair loss. It's a hair loss condition. People go through it. Okay, they just realize that their hair is no more staying on their head, and they start going bald, especially ladies. They start going bald. And so she started cutting her hair low, and it got to the point where she was low. She was almost like to the scalp. Right? You could still see hair, on her head, but it was like to the scalp. And Will Smith Chris Rock was like, "Oh, Jada, I love you, but G.I. Joe, see you. I mean, I think see you in G.I. Joe, or I was respecting in G.I. Joe." The idea was she's gonna act G.I. Joe because the last person that acted G.I. Jane, I think the last person that acted G.I. Jane was on that kind of cut, was on a very low cut, and he was like, "That's what you understand." It's that anybody, even my person, not as an entertainer now, my person as a human being, that's a joke. That's like Are you kidding me? Do you know how many? It's funny because personal experience. I've had medical conditions where I was yapped, I was teased, and I took it. Even the ones where I was angry and the ones where I was not angry, the ones that they were not that severe, you take it. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand why the anger. Okay, but I have a reason. I know the real reason. Okay, the anger was unnecessary, but I know the reason why Will Smith walked up there and slapped him. Okay, so that was the claim that it was because of that, what they call it, that mockery. Why I say it is not because of what Chris Rock said. Is Chris Rock has said words to people. That's what comedians do upstage. What's this guy's name? Jarvis. Is it Jarvis now? Oh, what's his first name? Oh my goodness, what's his first name? He's an English guy, a white guy. That guy is bad. That guy, I think it was Golden Globes he went to, and he finished everybody. He got so bad that people were not even laughing anymore. They were just cringing. It was more like cringe than laugh, because he was hitting everybody hard. He was going after. Steve Harvey hosted. I think it was the NF their football awards. He went after them. Is it Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart does it a lot. He goes after rappers, goes after basketballers. He gives it. In fact, sometimes he tells them before the show, "I'm going to get you." I'm going to get you. So if you build, Kevin Hart is small. He has a smallish stature. So when they bully him and they kick him around, and like, and they tease him, he will just say, "Don't worry, I'll get you on stage." As in, I won't get you now. Well, I'll get you on stage. So he keeps them in check with that. Is he Bill Burr? Bill Burr, one white guy. I think now he's bald. Is the white guy? I think he's even redhead or something. The guy. They just go on each other. They take it out on each other. So what Chris Rock, I can confidently tell you, because I keep seeing on social media, people say, he should have said that. Will Smith had to defend his wife. Will Smith did the right thing. If it was to me, I would have done the same thing. Like, that's nonsense. You all are saying nonsense. You're just saying, honestly, you're saying nonsense, because words have been said, far, 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 far worse. I've seen people on stage with a massive crowd go after people with autism, people who are called imbeciles, people who are called slow. You understand? People who have mental issues. I've seen comedians go after siblings who are crippled. Friends who are. Do you know how many times Stevie Wonder has been accused of not being actually being blind? People they've actually said that Stevie Wonder is not blind. Now, he keeps doing certain things that that are like, no, this guy cannot be blind, and they say it on stage. And people are like cringing, and the host of shows, people, the TV shows, their hosts, and people in the audience are like, how can you say such a thing? And the comedians are like, what? That he knows, that they used to tell him that you're not blind. Say, do you know how many times Cobhams? Let's not even go for Cobhams in Nigeria. You know how many times he will say, "Oh, this is my fine wife," and they will just ask him, "I take no. How do you know she's fine?" And he will just laugh and say he knows. They do it. This is entertainment. You will get hits. You are a celebrity. You are the top of the food chain, basically. This is Will Smith. He has been in the game for years. He has not just been in the game, he has been at the top of the game for years. From music, when he was still a rapper, he moved into sitcom. His sitcom was the best in the country. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And from there, he has been coasting. How there? As in, from there, he has went to podcast, went into video blog, went into other. How then do you tell me that this guy cannot take a joke? I'm sorry. Even Chris Rock was shocked. Chris Rock was like, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke. And he said, I love you. He said, Jada, I love you, but I mean, I refuse to believe that Will Smith did what he did because he was angry. Obviously, from the camera, he was not angry. Camera caught him smile, laughing at that same joke. In the same frame, his wife was seen like, she was. I don't even want to say she was angry. I don't think Jada was really angry. I think Jada was more like eye rolling, like, yeah, again, as in one more person yabbing me about my hair. Dude, if you didn't want that to be public information, you shouldn't have told anybody. You should have just keep wearing a wig or something. But you told people you are doing red table talk. You put yourself out there. You should expect to get hit. If you keep putting yourself out there, I'm doing this podcast. You think I don't know that I'm going to get hit? You think I don't know that somebody's going to listen to this podcast and be angry what I'm saying and then lash out at me? Come on, accost me on Facebook, meet me somewhere on YouTube, meet me somewhere on the show, on the road, and tell me they're going to do that. I need to build a tough skin, and I believe that Will Smith built that skin over the years. They've yabbed Will Smith, they've yabbed his kids, they've teased his kids for looking like hungry, abandoned, malnourished children. They've teased him, they've mocked him, they've mocked him for having an open marriage. Yes, a lot of you don't know that Will Smith and his wife have an open marriage. In fact, it's not just open, the wife made it open. He from the look of things, it was not what he wanted. He just converted the betrayal to an open marriage that both of them consented to. They have an open marriage and they accept it like that. From what we've seen, from the interviews he's done, and from the things he has said, he clearly didn't like the idea. Okay, but he's accepting it the way it is. For whatever reason, he's doing it. But they have an open marriage. You know what an open marriage is? If you don't know it, thank God for your innocence. If you do know it, now you understand that this guy is out there. You not only do you have an open marriage, you tell people that you have an open marriage. They didn't ask you to come and tell them. You went for shows, you went for interviews, and you said, even in your red table talk, the red table talk is your red table talk. You can define the agenda of your show, but still in your show, you discuss the fact that your wife has been having entanglements and whatever engagements and entanglements and whatever it is with people. So definitely you know how to take hits. How then is it that you can't take a hit from Chris Rock? What is the reason for that violent? For me, I think it was violent. In fact, when I saw the news when I went to, I think it was BBC, they had to caption the video that be careful of this video contains violent content, because first time it was violent. It was one move, one sweeping move. He walked up to Chris Rock. One sweeping move, he slapped him across the face, turned back and walked away. It's not as if they had a scuffle, no. But that one sweeping move, trust me, it was thick with power, with tension, with pressure. Oh my goodness! I want to doff my cap for Chris Rock. Now, please understand me. I'm not looking at. I'm going to look at this from the spiritual perspective, which definitely, you know me, I will always do that. But I'm trying to establish this entertainment perspective for you. Chris Rock impressed me, regardless of the fact that I don't like his comedy, not because he's not funny. Chris Rock is a very funny guy, but I don't understand why Black Americans feel they need to use curse words every time. If you use it, in your show to maybe accentuate the situation, maybe I can understand. Maybe you're quoting a reported speech or something, you're quoting somebody, but every time it's as if you can't successfully be funny without I don't know why they do it every time, but it's weird. So when you listen to Fluffy is less vulgar. You understand? Fluffy doesn't do all that. You listen to Michael Jr. is on a whole level entirely. I mean, these are comedians, but they don't do all that. So I'm not saying that I'm a big fan of Chris Rock. No, I don't think I follow him on social media. Yes, I love comedy. I love listening to comedy. I love watching comedy. But when you start doing vulgarity and curse words, anything, I back away from you. You understand what I mean? So I'm not a big fan of Chris Rock. However, I respect him. My respect for him for that particular scene just went up. Yeah, because it takes a lot to get slapped by a man who walks out to play the role of a superhero. He walked up to him with a clear intention to slap him, as to daze his eyes. And he did that. He moved. It was not a tap. He moved. His muscles flexed. His hands swung. Both hands were in motion. He anchored himself to take that slap, to dish out that slap. And Chris Rock took the slap, as in with such grace. He didn't move. He didn't fall. He didn't get teary-eyed. He didn't cry. He didn't say, "Oh, what nonsense." He didn't get into a fight. That was the next thing. I mean, a black man. I'm a black man. You come at me like that, I will come at you. Who the hell do you think you are? You come at me like that, I'll come at you. You understand? But Chris Rock, and this is someone that is not a Christian. I don't think Chris Rock has ever claimed to be a Christian. I mean, if everybody hates Chris is supposed to be a description of Chris Rock's growing up, I can't really say that. I can't then say that Chris Rock was actually raised to be a Christian boy. Do you understand what I mean? So he took it well, and I was like, man, this is the greatest night in entertainment, or the greatest night in the world, or something. That's, I mean, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. I mean, he took it well. His hands were behind him. He held his stance. You know, he took the hit. He didn't fall. That slap actually bent Chris Rock. The slap, he didn't bend his face. He bent him at the waist. The slap was so strong. Chris Rock bent at the waist. So you know what I'm talking about. Yet he took it well. He took it strong. Even when Will Smith walked back to his seat and was yelling, "Get my wife's name out of your whatever mouth." It was like, what nonsense is that? It was a G.I. Jane joke, for crying out loud. So the guy who is not known for being a Christian, the guy who is not known for calling God and saying God did this, which Will Smith always does. God did this one. God has given him. Even when he made his speech, he received the award for best. That was his first Academy Award, his first Oscar award. I think for best actor for his role in King. What was that movie? That movie about Serena Williams and Venus Williams. He was their father. He played their father in the movie, and he won an award for that. And he came up and he was talking about how God has burdened him with responsibility to give love, to do this. It's this hero mentality that I'm a hero. God has given me this hero position, and it's a burden, and people do this one. And then he apologized to the Academy, apologized to his nominees, and he did apologize to Chris Rock, who he actually offended. And he was all crying, and I'm like, what's all this nonsense now? Why actors like this generally? Why do you guys do this? You guys make entertainers generally look bad sometimes. What's all this one? Who asked you for that information that God had made you assistant Jesus? Who asked for that information? How do you go from being violent and then you are doing all this to justify your violence? No. Go there, accept your this, apologize. If you want to apologize, you don't apologize. To hell with everybody and walk away. Don't come and signal nonsense. Don't give me the form of godliness without any content thereof. Don't come and call God and say, God did this, God give you a mandate, God burdened you with that, blah 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 blah. That's for me. That's nonsense. Faith without works is dead. Your conviction should match your action. The moment your conviction does not match your action, it means that the conviction is not there. That's what it means. That's what that word means. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works means outward manifestation. So if I have a conviction within me, in my heart, and it does not tally with my outward manifestation, then it simply means that conviction does not exist. It's dead. So if you're coming and saying God did this, God loving you, I'm a custodian of love, I'm a whatever, I try to give hope. I try to help my people. Your people, who's your people? Are you come at the king? That nonsense, all that nonsense, I don't know. For me, it was just nonsense. All you had to do was, if accept your award, make your speech, thank whoever you want to thank, and walk away. If you feel the need to apologize to the people you've hurt. Number one, Chris Rock. He didn't deserve that nonsense. He did not deserve that nonsense. Chris could have gone harder. Are you kidding me? Chris would have gone harder. He could have gone harder than what he did. But he did that because these are people in the. You can't tell me, even if I can't really remember any movie where Chris Rock and Will Smith were, on set and together. But you can't tell me that Chris Rock and Will Smith have not at least been, some kind of closeness, or at least known each other. At least, hey, what's up? Maybe being in the green room together at the same time, or maybe gone on tour, or just something. They must have worked together at some point. And then you resort to walking up. That man has children at home watching him. That man has people who look up to him watching him. He's on stage doing his craft, and you walked up there and slapped him. Let me tell you the reason why he did this. Alright, the reason why Will Smith did what he did is simple. It's not because he was angry. It's not because of what Chris Rock said. It was not because he had some kind of mood swing, some demonic possession that just happened in a split second. No. Will Smith did what he did to Chris Rock simply because he could do it. I said it. Anybody that thinks I'm wrong, jump out. Will Smith walked up to Chris Rock and smacked him across the face for one reason and one reason alone, because he thought he could get away with it. He felt, I can do it. How do I know this? If Triple H was up there and he made that statement, do you really think that Will Smith will walk up there and smack Triple H and walk back with his limbs intact? Come on now. Don't. Let's not be foolish. If Stone Cold, if The Rock in all his glory was standing there, if what's his name, even as old as Arnold Schwarzenegger is standing there and he says, hey, what's the one thing, and he makes whatever snide comment or whatever it is, you think that Will Smith will say, I'm angry, yes, I'm angry, then he'll stand up and walk up there and slap The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, across the face and walk away? That's nonsense. We both know he wouldn't do that. If it was a lady that was as small as Jada Pinkett Smith standing up there, you think he would walk up there and smack that lady in this woke environment that he is also part of? Yes, now Will Smith is part of the woke mentality. You think if there was a lady as small as Jada Pinkett Smith, let's see which lady is as small as Jada Pinkett Smith. What's this man's name? Wanda Sykes, or what's her name? She's a little thicker than Jada. Jada is very skinny. I'm trying to think of an entertainer that has that stature. If that lady was standing, if a lady that looks like Jada Pinkett Smith, that is not strong, that cannot defend herself, is standing up there, you really think that Will Smith would walk up there and claim that out of anger he smacks? That's nonsense. He wouldn't have done that. He did that because in a split second his mind evaluated the situation that this is Chris Rock. He may not be able to defend himself against me. This is a show. I'm a top dog in this show, whether they like it or not. You understand? I can get away with this. In a split second, he considered that, and he stood up and went there and slapped him and walked back and still yelled explicatives across to him. Why? Because somewhere in his mind, in split second, he told himself, I can do this, and nothing will happen. And from the way I'm seeing it, nothing will happen. Yes, because the entertainment industry right now is a very woke, pathetic industry. Let's be honest. It's very pathetic. Nobody wants to take a stand. Everybody wants to just be passive and docile and just weak and pathetic and sad. So they will not do anything. One, because these are black men. If it was before now, they will say is white people are being racist against. That I mean, from Eddie Murphy to who now, everybody who has not won an award at the Oscar will come out and say they are racist. I mean, there was a time I think Jada Pinkett Smith boycotted the Oscars. Now I think it was the Oscars she boycotted. Even Chris Rock teased her at that time that why is Jada boycotting the Oscars? What is she going to win? It's not as if I mean they've been claiming, and this is my problem with black people, black Americans. They always look at things as a collective. They always see themselves as a collective. And when people do that, when people in a society try to always consider themselves as a collective, is because they want to claim victimhood. The only way you can successfully claim victimhood and be effective in whatever ambition you have is to do it as a collective. If you do it as an individual, you will not have a voice, you will not be considered that much. But if you do it as a collective, you can gather sympathy and pity and whatever. So they've always been doing that. Black people are being sidelined, black people are being racially whatever, black directors are not getting this thing, black women are not doing, black people are sorry, they are suffering, white people are taking over the whole entertainment. So, and the funny, all these years have been saying this, is they keep going to the Oscars, they keep sitting and eating with these so-called white people who were the ones who casted the votes to determine who will win awards. So now that black people are you understand, they are everywhere, they are in movies, they are in everything, they are winning awards, they don't have any victimhood to hold on to now. So who do we blame now? Which white man do we blame for this manifestation of stupidity? The last time the Oscars made news, another black man by the name of Kanye West jumped out and snatched the mic from a white lady, or snatched the attention from a white lady who won an award. I think she won Best Video. And he started yelling that another black lady, a black lady who did a video that was the best of all time, and so she should have won the award. And he just had this. Yes, we don't want to look at black people's activities or actions as representative of all black people, but guess what? They've always been making it look like they are a collective. So when you do these things, you consider it as a collective. You've always been playing victimhood as a collective. Now these two black men have come and have disgraced the whole Oscars, even though the Oscars right now is so woke that it has lost a lot of followership. I mean, I don't know how many people will watch the Oscars these days. I don't know how many people. It's so woke, and for an organization that is so woke, an event that is so woke. In fact, right now this year's O was the wokest of the wokest, as it was the wokest of the woke. I mean, if at the point three ladies came up and were basically antagonizing men, it was just a whole new level of misandry. They were antagonizing men, just so that they, I don't know whether they came to present an award, whatever it is they came to do. Like, just do your thing and go. You don't need to put down one person or one thing or one entity to celebrate yours. Just do your thing. So it's woke, and for a woke organization that considers itself to be so tolerant and so accepting and so inclusive, it tends to be so violent. I don't even want to go into the fact that when they do the Oscars, especially when they do it in California, they get rid of homeless people. They get rid of everything that is not good, that is an eyesore. You understand? They clear the streets, and California is basically the home of homeless people. It is the home for homeless people. It's the home to homeless people. It is the center of homelessness in America. So there's a lot of pretentious, hypocrisy involved in that event. Then you now have entertainers who are respected coming up stage and doing all that. I'm like, it was unnecessary. And that's from the entertainment perspective. I've not even gone into the fact that this does not in any way look godly. All right, this is just from the entertainment perspective. This is the reason what Will Smith did is the same reason why men beat up women in marriages. It's not because the men were angry. It's not because they have hot temper all those stupid reasons, or they drank too much, or he's stressed, or he's anxious. Nonsense stories. If your wife is Randa was now this woman that is a MMA somebody. If that's your wife, you think you will still be angry and you will hit her, you will slap her. The thunder that will fire you. You must be a joker. If your wife is Serena Williams that will just jog on the spot 10 times and all her muscles will come out, then you now tell me that it is because a man beats up a woman in marriage simply because he can do it. That is the only reason why a man does that, because he can do it, not because he's angry, not because the woman said anything. Yes, women tend to say provocative things. We know that they go for the jugular every time, as if for the minutest issue they will go for the jugular. They go hard. But that is not the reason why a man will hit a woman. The reason why a man hits a woman because he knows he can't get away with it. He knows he can do it. He knows he will succeed. Okay? But if he knows he will not succeed, he will control himself. He will control himself. You understand? Self-control that's how self-control is built. You understand? That's the same thing. That's the same thing Will Smith did. He considered the situation in seconds, and he evaluated the cost-benefit analysis, did everything, and came to the conclusion that if I walk up there and smack this guy, I'll get away with it. And he did it. Precedence. Let's look at precedence. Precedence, meaning that this is going to set a standard. Now, comedians who have been at least over the past 3 years now, they've been compelled. Comedians have been cancelled. The last Oscar, who was supposed to host it, Kevin Hart. Why did he was cancelled? Yeah, people don't know that. He was cancelled, and he rejected the offer. Even the Oscars said he should stick up for it. Comedians have been compelled to shut up, so they can't crack jokes as well. I don't want to crack jokes anymore. Which good comedian is out there now? The Chappelle that came back and became a greatest of all time, as in he was even pushing Kevin Hart, almost pushing him out of the whole stage. He was almost cancelled. It's just that you don't cancel Dave Chappelle. You cannot. 50 years ago, was it 50 years? Sorry, 10 years ago, they couldn't cancel him. Is it now you want to cancel Dave Chappelle? You can't cancel Dave Chappelle. This is like you can't cancel Kanye West. Okay, so comedians have been in the past 2 or 3 years. They've been under pressure to be less funny, to shut down, to not say funny things, to not go after people. Whether you like it or not, anybody who has any sense knows that comedy is built. Real comedy is built on darkness. Yes, some level of darkness. When I mean darkness, I don't mean kingdom of darkness. I mean some bad news, some very serious situation. Yes, give me any good joke that works. Show me. Let's do it. Send me a voice message. Show me any good joke that actually works. I will show you how dark it originally is. Okay, how dark it was before the joke was pulled out of it. Jokes are always from a dark place. That is why it is the darker the origin of that issue, the funnier it is considered. The more humorous people consider it when it is made into a joke or into comedy. So we all know that. So the precedence is now that if you don't like a comedian's comment, you can walk up to him on any stage, whether it's in a comedy club somewhere in your local area, whether it's a comedy show in a stadium. The precedence now is if you can beat the comedian off stage, walk up there and beat the shit out of him. Yes, that's the precedence that has been set now, and it was set by an entertainer, a sitcom legend. Sitcom is comedy. Yes, that is where we are now. That's what Will Smith has done. So comedians now be afraid. Comedians will be performing with bouncers. Before you go up stage, you say, please, I need 2 bouncers. Because I'm about to go off on some people. Alright? Now, to the most important part for me is the bringing God into this. I think I need to say this: entertainers worldwide, Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood, Ugawood, Ghana wood, wherever the wood is. Please Leave God out of it. I think that is the safest thing to say. Leave God out of it. Don't drag God into that mess, into all that. Don't. I'm not saying don't be a Christian. I'm not saying don't be born again. I'm saying if you're not doing a Christian movie, if you're not completely sold out to Christian movies, if you're not like a Mount Zion setup, leave God out of it. This is what I'm saying. Please hear me well. I'm not saying that you're not Christians. I'm not saying that you are unworthy to involve God in your life. No. I'm not saying you should not involve God in your life. No. I'm saying when you are, because of the nature of your job, all right, because of the nature of your job and your decision to cross lines, yes, it is your decision. God didn't make the decision for you. You made the decision to cross certain lines, okay, to say certain things and do certain things, to leave kingdom content and do maybe mainstream content or secular content that is totally anti-God. You made that decision, all right, to not just do Christian content, to not just do faith-based content. You want to step out to a range. You want to have a range where you can kiss people on set. You can simulate a heavily sensual scene, sex scene. You want to step in a place where you use vulgarities for no apparent reason. You want to use vulgarities. You want to get into violent acts for no apparent reason. Fine. If you want to do that, fine. I cannot tell you not to do that. Nobody can tell you not to do that. It is your prerogative. It is your decision. But don't drag God into that space. Don't go into that space and then start saying, oh, God did this, God sent me, I love God, God loves me. Nobody, see, it does not help. I promise you, it does not. It does not. Because what you are doing is you are bringing two contradictory orientations into play. We are bringing God and juxtaposing him with the secular anti-God things you have been doing. I'm not judging for the anti-God aspect. That's not my business. Nobody has the right to judge you on that. That is your decision. But don't drag this God that we have loved all these years. This God that is the goodness, the goodness that attracts people to. Don't drag him into that mess. Why? You are making preaching the gospel difficult for us. You make it difficult for us. You don't do things that I think I'm going to do a full session on this. I'm going to do a full episode on this because there's some actors that need to be called out. Not called out because I want to shame them. No, called out because somebody needs to say it so that you can go and look at these actors and you can see clearly that they do these things. You dress in certain ways. You do certain things. You celebrate certain things that only devil appreciates. And then you somehow drag the name of God into it. And God is in heaven saying, leave me alone. Do your acting. If you want to pursue iniquity. Don't involve my name in it. Don't do all that mess. And then come and say, God said one thing, God told me one thing, God is my this one, I believe in God, I'm a lover of God. Nobody cares about that. Why? This is why I said it. This is what I'm saying. Nobody cares about this. You are presenting a facade. You are presenting this a form of this. This is what you are doing. You are saying, I may be dirty, but I have some good in me, and I want to give you that good. I want to show that good to you so that you can see that it is good. You might sincerely actually love God. I'm not saying you don't. You actually love God, and you feel that in all the mess you've been doing, all the horrible things you've been acting, you have this space in your life for God. You understand? You have this small space where you put God, and you expect him to sit down there and just wait while you do all other nasty things. Fine, but the assumption that you can use that small portion of God and somehow bless people who are familiar, who are comfortable and accepting to the other messy part. It doesn't work like that. You don't purify dirty water with clean water. You don't. However, you can damage clean water with a drop of dirty water. Let me say it again. You cannot purify dirty water with clean water. You can't. You can't pour a cup of even if it's 2 equal cups, 1 cup of water, you pour it into an equal cup of dirty water. It doesn't make that dirty water drinkable. However, if you take 1 full cup of water and you put 1 drop of dirty water, it compromises the whole situation. So that small place where you put Jesus, in the whole sex scene that you do, in the whole soft porn movies that you act, in the whole violence and the whole nonsense you do in the name of entertainer, actor, then you feel that it is that small portion of God that you now want to use to bless people. You want to be a blessing to people. You have a mandate of love. You want to give hope to your people. You want to be the Jesus that they didn't experience. That's nonsense. And Will Smith's own is small. Will Smith's own is very minute, because this is like the first major flop he's doing that. I'm like, I wish he didn't do it. You understand? I wish he didn't. It's not as if there's a threshold of things he must do. Like there's like 3 strikes and you're out. No, it's not like that. Okay, I'm just saying this particular one was easy to overcome. I think it was easy to overcome. It was easy compared to other things he might have faced over the years of his career. This one was very cheap, very cheap. He could have stepped over this and walked away, but no, he made it a sin. And then he now insisted on dragging. That thing pains me. Dragging God into it. You don't have to do that. You really don't have to do it. You don't have to go to that point where you involve God. No, just do your thing. You can pray to God, you can love on God, you can have a church, have a pastor. Most of these entertainers have pastors. Most of them have churches where they go to. Most of them pray, they have spiritual advisors, Christians. Okay? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying, don't bring God into the public space and juxtapose him, pair him with the mess that you are doing. You know the mess that you are doing. It's not that you are judging me. I will judge you. Yes, I will judge you. I will judge you. You think if you tell me you don't judge me, I will judge you. I'll judge, not judgment to condemnation, judgment to evaluation. We will evaluate you. Everybody, you evaluate me, people evaluate me. We evaluate each other. Everybody evaluates each other. If you walk on the road, you see somebody in a split second, you have evaluated him. You evaluate each other. Yes, it happens. So yes, we will evaluate you. If you want to call that judgment, fine, that's your problem. But people will always evaluate you. And then they will see that you now make, what you are doing is you are watering God down. You're making God ineffectual. You're making God. That's why people think that people call God the man up there. Like, the man up where? People begin to look at God like, because they see the way you handle God. They see the way you just make him look like his nature, his universe, he's an energy, he's a force. Oh my God, is far, far bigger than that. But how would they know? And when we want to talk to them, they might not be able to point at what you did. They might not be able to say, oh, this person did this, and therefore I don't value Christianity or God or Jesus or all that nonsense. No. But somewhere in their mind, a logic has been built. A stronghold has been established. That Christianity is not all that. It's overrated. It's just hypocrisy. Yes, do you know how many people hear Christianity and they hear Christianity and they just see hypocrisy? Why? Because they feel that you guys have made so much noise about this thing that it's not what it is. That they have judged themselves. People judge themselves. People see your Christianity, they see your good works, and they evaluate themselves and say, okay, I'm not doing well. And they do it every time they see a good person, they evaluate themselves. I do it. Everybody does it. You see somebody who is doing good, you can't talk to yourself. And when they find out that they cannot meet up to that standard, they begin to get angry with that person. They begin to judge, begin to hate that person, and that person is like the evidence of their failure. But the truth is, you shouldn't evaluate yourself based on people. You should evaluate yourself based on Jesus. And Jesus is saying, all I do is love you. But people do that. People evaluate themselves based on other people. And when they do that based on you as a person, they see how you hold on to Jesus, how you hold on to God. And they're like, no, man. They can't. All right? So it's a problem. It's a problem. I didn't expect to go beyond 40 minutes on this, but it's a serious problem. First of all, he did it because he could do it. He could do it and he could get away with it. Secondly, leave God out of it. Just be an entertainer. Just do your thing. Shine your shine. Don't let God be alone. As he let him rest, he has tried. There's enough controversy surrounding Christianity. All right, we are trying to decontroversialize the whole situation. We don't need more controversy. We don't need people keep looking at Christianity as that error, that a group of hypocrites. No, you can't be running an open marriage, celebrating an open marriage in public, and then you now say God give you mandate to do one thing. Even if he gave you mandate, I'm not saying even if he gave you mandate, just do the mandate. Don't come and tell us that God gave you. Don't. You're making preaching the gospel difficult. You're making people are taking us as jokes. So no, let the people who are ordained, those people, those pastors, let them do their job. Don't, please. That's my unpopular opinion on this subject. I didn't plan to stay this long on this matter. But I hope I clarified a lot of things for people. I hope I really blessed somebody. All right, so don't forget, you can go to our website and look around, get our songs, get our works. They're on Spotify, on iTunes, on Boomplay, on major platforms, Amazon, Deezer, Tidal. Even down to CD Baby, down to YouTube. All right, go to YouTube, see our unscripted session videos, even the scripted session videos. Okay, go to our shop. All right, if you want to support us, you can do that. www.projectsoul.com/give. Okay, if you want to shop, you want to buy our branded product, beautiful. Go to www.projectsoul.com/shop. And you see beautiful products, beautiful. I'm telling you, they're beautiful. So you can do that, and look out. Subscribe to our newsletter. Follow us on social media so you can know where we're going. Where we're going next, place we're going to, whether you need signed copies of whatever you need, whether you need to be part of our project. Come so we can bless lives, we can touch people. All right. So that's it for Will Smith and Chris Rock. Will Smith and Chris Rock. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll see you in the next episode. All right, just remain blessed.